Hey folks, how y'all doing? I'm Pocan Joe, and as always, you are pretty cool for stopping by. We appreciate and we love you, and welcome to the new subscribers out there. I know I haven't verbally said that in a while. But you are still graciously appreciated for being here. So my haul video. What did we pick up this week, and what about them makes them interesting, and why would we pick them? Surprisingly, it has nothing to do with evaluations this week or speculation. All we got this great week is good stories. That's not to say that's not there, but I just read some really good stories this week. But first, let's talk about what we got. Right up off the bat, I picked up the Tony Stark Invincible Iron Man #7, and I bought this because it was and it tricked me. This one tricked me. I hate it. Right there on the front, I thought it would have something to do really cool with symbiotes or Venom or something along that way, because I judged a book by its cover. I am sorry, I'm horrible about doing that. And come to find out, no, it's not. It's more dealing with the internal conflict with him and the machine, and alien influences being the existential threat in this one. So no good Venom stuff in here, even though the cover clearly looks like something Venom-y happening. It is not. So be advised on that one. Next, another cover one that I bought. Of course, I love these covers. I read this story too. I'm not a huge Batgirl person. I'm usually picking it up because of these beautiful covers. However, I did read this one because I've had a lot of time on my hand. Notice the scruffy beard I've been growing. Unfortunately, I am one of the people that is on the government shutdown right now, or the temporary shutdown right now. So I've had a lot of time on my hands lately to really dive into these books. So I really dove into this. What did I get? Absolutely nothing. This is just a filler story. I did not find it that interesting. There was some speculation going in this one about some great stuff happening. However, it did not happen in this one. And I do believe that this is the last Middleton cover. So I definitely wanted to pick it up just for that. I've been collecting those. Very happy to have it. Now, let's talk about some books that I absolutely found entertaining. As you know, as a subscriber of my show and hopefully a watcher of it, I have been reading this and enjoying it. This is just stupid fun. This is what happens when you were a kid and you had Superman, Justice League action figures, and He-Man action figures, and you wanted them to fight. Right? So we have Injustice. This is the wrap up, the last issue of this story. Really good stuff happened in here, and I expect more good things in the future the way they left it off. Great scenes in here, great art. I'm not going to say great art. Maybe that's an exaggeration. It's this very kind of, I don't want to say cartoony, but dramatic type art, using a lot of negative space to explain a lot of the story. I thought that was kind of odd in the artwork of it, but the story was just stupid fun, so I didn't look too deep into it. I just had a great time watching He-Man yell, "I have the power." Next, Black Knight. All right, so I'm dropping this run. This is Black Knight #3. I thought I gave it fair enough issues. I gave it 3 issues. And the story just seems to be eating on itself. And I don't really like that in my storytelling. And everything seems to be based around really nothing. I mean, there's some battle lines in there. There's some people working in the background. There's some people with some weird powers. But they don't really develop the characters in any way. So, unfortunately, I'm going to have to drop this. Now, if I'm wrong, and you're like, Joey, you're just not looking into it right, please comment down below. Let me know what I'm missing. Maybe I'm missing something. I miss things sometimes. So help me out. And maybe I'll pick it back up. I'll let you, the viewer, decide that one. Next, we have the Immortal Hulk. I preferred this cover. I know it has, some people are like, well, it doesn't have anything to do with the story on the inside. And you would be absolutely correct in that assumption. However, this is still a great story in here, and it really gets deep with, what is hell, what's not hell, in a great comic book way, I thought, with their little ongoing narrative throughout the story. It talks about the Cabal and the opposite side of the Cabal and the Tree of Life, which are religious things that have constantly been brought up, both in pulp culture and in actual theology. And it kind of deals with that, like, what is hell? And if God turns his back on you, and if you're an atheist, does it really matter? Or does it really work? It has some really interesting questions in here. Great enlightening. Not that it has answers to it, but it just kind of spreads your mind a little bit if you look between the panels. I thought that was very interesting. Next, Winter Soldier number 2. I went into issue 1 very hesitant of this title. I thought for sure I would drop after that. It left it on a great cliffhanger, which keeps me coming back buying more with our character here, RJ. The greatest villain line in this book was unnamed villain. Clears off the table with RJ sitting at him with him. He's a younger, strapping young man. He just got finished killing 2 people in a booth, very sloppily with a knife. Comes back to the table and tells the guy, did it. The guy clears off all the food off the table, throws it on the floor, tells him he's sloppy, and to eat his food off the floor. And he goes, when you can handle a knife, I'll give you a fork. And I just thought that was, oh my God, that's just an epic line. Not that it's a good line that a hero would say, but definitely stuck out in my head how powerful of control he had over this little kid and all the great, horrible things that he had him do. I look forward to reading more into this character. We're kind of promised that in the 3rd issue to find out more about him and why he is the way he is. It was just a great read. It really was. Absolutely enjoyed it. Next, Wonder Woman number 61. Now, I have to say, I am not a huge Wonder Woman reader. It's never really been my storyline, but I've really been enjoying this. And the greatest part of this book that I found the most interesting is when Steve Trevor, who's currently dating Wonder Woman, is talking to Aphrodite about what love is. And how it pushes him and makes him do brave things and run into the gunfire. And he's convincing Aphrodite, who thinks that love, mind you, she's the goddess of love, is nothing more than a simple notation that makes people do ridiculous things. And it just, the banter back and forth between them about how an action can be seen on either side seemed very interesting to me. So I'm kind of interested in this. And this, we're left with a cliffhanger where Ares is tired of everybody's BS. Yes, he's out of prison if you've missed my other shows. And I'm kind of curious where that goes. So I hate to say it, but I think I'm turning into a Wonder Woman fan. This is good storytelling. Very, very detailed. And dealing with issues, you know, what is love? Is love something that is just an emotional chemical reaction we have towards another person that makes us do ridiculous things? Or is where we derive bravery and courage from because we love the things that we do? It's one of them scales. It's definitely left up for the reader, which good storytelling should do, to make the determination. And I found that very interesting. So I'm kind of curious where these next issues go. Next, we have... Oh, yeah, I really enjoyed this. Yeah, we're going to talk about this one. Marvel Knights. Yeah, stuff's about to get crazy in here. We got Doctor Doom, we got Wilson Fisk. Of course, the villains can never get along with each other. A battle ensued there. People are having memory lapses. There's a machine that can do it. Why aren't we taking the simplest answer? A lot of questions being asked in this, and a lot of just absolutely great art in it too. I really like this art styling. It's very clean, very cut. It's very polished. Even though some of our characters, like Black Panther's not wearing his regular suit, you still know who he is in it. There's no complications, no blurriness. I've really been enjoying this story and how everybody's getting their memories back. And we keep getting like little glimpses of things like a quick Hulk thing that he did, but we don't actually see the Hulk yet. So that's been very interesting too. So I'm looking forward to more reads of that. Infinity Wars with the little infinity sign on it. First off, how epic is that cover? If you've been following this series, that cover right there just pretty much explains the ending of and leads us into another story. And how epic is this story? Some of the things going on in here are just epically awesome. Now, if you don't know, the stones have gotten their own souls, and they've been spread out. And Adam Warlock kept one of them. Well, one of the stones found themselves to this prisoner right here, who's on death row, and I'm assuming it's a time stone, because he can stop time. That's the assumption I think we're being led to believe here. And what's the outcome of this guy getting out of jail? For the most part, that was kind of a slow read for the introduction of what he'll be able to do. But this is what we ended on, folks. We got Wolverine being pulled by some rams. I think this is the Phoenix Wolverine, if I'm not mistaken. Being pulled by some rams, and it's a great line. It's basically, it says, "I ain't bub," because of a previous panel. I guess I should have read that. "You won't remember any of the previous chats, but you'll have to trust me. Now get in. We got a universe to save." Oh, wow. Now remember, in Infinity Wars, I'm going to add some conjecture. Infinity Wars ended with an entire universe that was able to self-sustain itself. They figured out a way to keep those time-warped or infinity-warped characters alive and going. I hope we see more of that going into this, because they created some great characters and great stories for them. So I'm kind of hoping they kind of take this book into that realm. That would be epically awesome. Enough said. Next, we got Action Comics number 106. So what do we got going on in this story? It's Dragon. It's so just kind of going. Red Cloud tries to battle Superman again. And Superman just pretty much tells it like it is. You're making the same mistakes everybody has made. You're taking my generosity as weakness. I don't think I've given you a fair warning, Miss Cloud, so consider it this. Stop. And she keeps referring back to the time where, in a couple of issues, where Superman did not put her in her place and shut it down. So some interesting stuff could happen here, but the truth is they're taking too long to do it. And after 6 issues, I want some more resolve or some more epicness, and I'm not getting it. The storytelling's somewhat shallow. They're spending way too much time on Superman's personal life, and his personal life is Clark Kent in this. And I don't want to see any more of that. We get it, you know. Lois Lane pretty much friend-zoned him a couple issues ago. And it's just not there. Hopefully they pick up the story. I don't know why any of the creators of any of the stuff would be watching my show, but if you are, come on, throw some meat in there. Give me something to chew on. I want to read Superman. I want to see this stuff. But, I mean, you give me 3 pages of good action fighting, and the rest of it's just dealing with drama, and I'm not really cool with that. So what else did we get? Another good book. Killmonger. I have been enjoying this story. It's great stuff. We get Bullseye. We got just all kinds of craziness. Now, it did get a little weird. Killmonger is infatuated with Wakanda, and he wants to go back to home. He has royal blood, and he wants to take a woman with him. The love story in it's kind of two-dimensional at best. It seems more gains than it does anything else that would be heartfelt. But I'll be honest, I'm still liking the story for right now. When it starts getting a little too much like in Action Comics 106, when it starts focusing too much on this one-dimensional relationship where they're just following comic tropes and romance stories, I'm probably going to drop it at that point. But as of right now, all the way up to issue 3 has kept my attention, and I've been enjoying it. Okay, what else did we get? Ooh, this is a good one. All right, Detective Comics, number 995. First off, great cover, right? Anytime you can fit as many villains as you can on a cover in their most epic poses ever, that's always a great thing. I have been totally enjoying this. And I'll be honest with you, the way they left this on a cliffhanger, I'm going to spoil it for you. It's already Saturday. If you haven't read it by now, I don't want to tell you. Right there. If you don't know, Superman's going through Arkham Asylum, and he's walking down, and he's basically telling everybody, metaphorically, I'm about to get some information from you. Somebody's been mimicking his parents' deaths. There's a monster rolling around. Somebody he cared for very much from his youth had recently been injected with Joker gas and died in his arms. And Alfred was attacked as well. And Superman's about had enough of this shit, to put it bluntly, and he's gonna go find out. And I mean, just the way to end it there, just that epic scene right there, speaks so much in such a simplistic way that I absolutely enjoyed it. Just great stuff. Again, back to just stupid fun. Old Lady Harley. This has been funny. And I'm going to go ahead and say, sorry, Spectacular Spider Grandpa. I've read through this. You're not getting my copy. I'm keeping this. We get a vision of the future of what Bane would look like in the future. Do you want to see? No? Too bad. I gotta pull it out for you. First off, it's absolutely hilarious. He's this skinny, broken old man. And what do we get? We find out he still has the strength and he has twins. And his twins are all hulked out. Now, that is just, first off, hilarious. And the fact that Bane can still pick up somebody and choke slam them is just absolutely amazing. And apparently he rules this little area of Bloodhaven with an iron fist. And if you haven't been reading this, this is just stupid fun. Pick it up. I'll be honest with you. I'm actually enjoying this more than I enjoyed the regular Harley Quinn run. Great storyline. We get to see our characters as old people like Killer Croc, Catwoman, the Bane twins, Bane himself, and this her partner, I guess is the best way to put it, Tool. I'm enjoying this guy. This guy's just all kinds of sarcastic and fun, and it's just funny reading. That's all it is. Yeah, I enjoyed that. Next, okay. Probably going to become the bad guy today. I'm talking about Uncanny X-Men number 8. Yeah. Thanks for building up a great storyline from 1 all the way up to now, and yet again, not ending it. Well, I'm not going to say you didn't end it. You did end it, and you even left me on somewhat of a cliffhanger with Legion waking back up. But apparently we found out that the kid X-Men, I guess is the best way to put it, are sent to another dimension that's inside of Legion's head and X-Man, and it got really complicated there over where they're actually at. I missed something. I may have to go back and reread it again. I'm not sure. But kind of got lost in that. But now they're back on our world and they're looking their normal way. If you watched my last episode, oh my God, they look like what you want X-Men to look like, right? Especially the Glob. Like, I don't get that guy. Like, I get he's the sarcastic, funny one to stick, but I don't understand why that thing exists. And that's my fault, not yours or the writers. I should go do some research on it. Truth is, I'm just not that interested in the character. He's there for comic relief. But when they put him in this little mindscape/hell place, like, he actually looked kind of badass. Like, he looked like he could whip somebody up, not just a bowl of jelly with bones in it. It was horrible. And then they just kind of just made the whole thing like, okay, 5 minutes our time, years in their time in the head, and it just seemed like it lasts forever. So now what are the consequences of that going to be? Right? Because technically they're slightly older now. They've gone through battles in hell and lived in a horrible place and even had to fight each other in that place. What are you going to do to clear that up? It's not really much you can do because you dispatched your antagonist, and Legion is, well, Legion. Now there's questions of how do X-Men take care of each other? Do they actually take care of each other? Who screws over who when it's convenient? Yada, 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 yada. A lot of verbiage in this book. Although, the only reason why I'll probably pick up 9 is I want to see that internal conflict come to a resolve of some sort. And if the kids get more respect or get the harder missions or whatever the case may be, which has constantly been a story in this, how does that look? Because that's a lot of characters in one comic book on a regular basis. It's weird. We're going to see. We'll see how that works out. Next, Conan the Barbarian. Okay, so we got what we got. I know a lot of you are like, oh my God, Conan's back and it's so bloody and it's great. Yeah. Yep, a lot of slashing and hacking. Storyline was very mundane at best. And then we go right into King Conan in this book too. So that I'll give it some credit. That was pretty cool. Start off with Conan the Barbarian and how he became King Conan, and now a threat from his past comes back to haunt him, and he's got to basically kill that. And then we also get these weird two kids that are something more than kids, obviously, but they're obviously some sort of villainy. I can't wait to see what happens there. That's going to be kind of cool. Okay. But the first issue kind of left me wanting more in this story. I know that sounds horrible. Luckily, they left it on a cliffhanger. Maybe issue 2 will help clean that. I get it. Sometimes you start your story slow, you put a lot of action in there, and then you throw in the story later. Cool. Let's see how that goes. But all in all, not a bad book. Mind you, I'm not saying this was a bad book by any means. It was a great, enjoyable, easy read. Got through it in a few minutes. But other than that, yeah. And of course, I went with this 1 in 10 variant. I thought that spoke most about Conan as a character. I could have gotten the movie variant, but honestly, I just don't think Arnold Schwarzenegger photographs very well. Sorry, personal feeling. But so yeah. Now the question would be, I guess, for some people, is would I recommend it? Well, yeah, it's Conan the Barbarian. It's probably one of the most classic characters, 1 in literature, 2 in cinema, and 3 in comic books. So yeah, definitely go get that book. Next, all right. So I saved this one for last on purpose. I have been having a smorgasbord of psychology and philosophy being outlined in this storyline of Heroes in Crisis. And I found out something interesting. We got a lot more than just baseline PTSD going on in here. We got a lot more than that. And somebody brought up an interesting fact. What if the entire storyline is nothing more than somebody's therapy session currently? How does that play out? Well, I made the recommendation, well, not recommendation, but damn near demanded that better not be what they're doing, because that would just be lazy writing at this point. Just chalk it up as something that happened in the hologram room. Ta-da! See what we did to you? That would be a horrible... Please don't let that be the case here, because we have so much that we can pull from this and throw into the DC universe into separate comic book points from here on out. We got Blue Beetle in here. Booster Gold being Booster Gold, Harley Quinn. I mean, we got all these great characters interacting with each other, and then we get a face-to-face moment with the particular character talking to Sentry. I believe it's Sentry. Whatever the computer system's called, or the robot. That's their psychiatrist. Found that very interesting. I did have a good and bad point to this comic book. One thing made me kind of sort of mad. Well, first, let's talk about the thing that I liked the best. The greatest line in this book was with Blue Beetle and Booster Gold, Bros Before Heroes. That was great. Like, something had happened. I don't want to spoil it for you. And he's going to help his buddy out. Or, I'm sorry, Blue Beetle's going to help Booster Gold out. And he's like, why? We shouldn't be doing it this way. We should be doing it, blah, 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 blah. And the Blue Beetle looks right at his best friend and goes, Bros Before Heroes. I had to put the book down for a second and just kind of chuckle at that. I thought that was a great epic line to actually see friendship in that sort of manner. I thought that was great. Now, the thing that I hated was Black Canary's interview. And I hate it. I get you're going for a dramatic effect, but there she is, up at the top. Basically, she sits and stares at it. She goes, the weird symbols that mean a cuss word. I'm assuming it's F this. Stands up, walks out, and then they leave the other 6 panels with just the symbol in the background. I'm sorry. No. No. You could have moved this section over here down to here, and we could have got another page of something. You cheated me a half a page, my hard-earned money. You stole a half a page worth of it. That shouldn't sound like a big deal, but it is. I work hard for my money, and you cheated me. I'm not happy about that. So that's my review. So what's going on? Well, all kinds of things are going on. At the end of the month, the last weekend in January, I'm going to be heading out to Las Vegas to SHOT Show. It's going to be awesome. Hopefully we'll see some cool Batman equipment and stuff out there. However, I can't go around there doing comic book stuff because it's an extremely professional environment of people in the firearms industry. So we'll try to do something at a comic book store. If you got a recommendation for a comic book store, comment down below. Please let me know. What else do we got after that? We got, me and Spectacular Spider Grandpa are going to host another one of our online auctions. Nice, safe, secure place where you can bid as comfortably as you like. We're going to have some great stuff in this one. We got a couple of mystery boxes. We got some great lots. Got some great single issues, minor keys, major keys. We're going to have it all on there. We plan on having close to 200 items on there. So definitely take advantage of that. So why are we doing this? One, to offset our habit. Two, we got to clear room because 2019 has promised some great comic books and our houses are full of comic books. So we definitely need to do something there. So definitely we'll get that information out to you as quickly as possible. And last but not least, C2E2 going to Chicago. Good old Chi-Town. We're going to go check that out. If you have not picked up your VIP passes yet, they are sold out on their website, so you may have to go someplace else to get a VIP pass. I recommend eBay or something along those lines. If not, don't worry, the 3-day pass is still for sale at $75. You can also buy day passes, of course. Now, the rule always stands. If you see me out popping around at one of these areas and we do a meetup of the comic book community, we do a meetup someplace, I owe you a beer. Just say, hey, I know you, Pocan Joe, and you kind of owe me a beer, Slick. Happy to buy you that beer. That's all that I have. I'm going to go meet up with Spectacular Spider Grandpa and his wife and me and my wife, and we're all going to go eat Mexican food together. And our wives get to listen to me and Spectacular Spider Grandpa debate about comic books. So that should be fun. Maybe, I don't know. Maybe we should cancel. Probably not. But hey, as always, guys, pretty cool for stopping by. Hey, if you like what we're doing here, give us a like, give us a subscribe. If you don't, give me a thumbs down so I know I'm doing the right thing or the wrong thing. The only way I can entertain you is by giving you what you want. If you have any suggestions, by all means. Also, check me out on Instagram. I'm always posting pictures or doing something silly on there or following weird people. Yeah, I know. Yeah. Instagram's a weird universe. I'm still learning a lot about it. All right, guys. As always, stay cool. You're pretty cool. And if nobody's complimented you today, you look marvelous. Talk to you soon. Bye.